Hey everyone, welcome to Buzzing About Romance. I am Becky, and joining me for this episode is Leah. Hello, Leah.
Hello, Becky.
And Lindsey. Welcome back this week, Lindsey.
Hi.
And after what seems like 5 million years, Heather's back. Hi, Heather.
Hello. Hello.
I don't think we've talked about all the stuff that's gone on in your life on the podcast. Like, behind the scenes, we all kind of know.
Yes, we know what's going on.
This hasn't, since August to now, this has just really not been Heather's era.
No, 2025 has not been my family's year. So,
No, because, a lot of stuff started back way at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, so February, our youngest was super sick, had a staph infection, and was really sick for a long time. And then I think it was 5 weeks ago, Justin and I were just talking about that. I fell and shattered my elbow and broke the tip of my, I don't know. Anyway, I did some serious damage.
You broke your weenus, Heather. You broke your weenus.
Yeah, and I broke an ulnar bone. So I have a brand new elbow and some pins and plates in my arm. And it's my left arm, and I'm left-handed.
So many things.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Today is good. I tried to explain to Justin that I feel like recovery, and anybody who's had an illness or injury, I feel like you're on a roller coaster in a tunnel. Sure. Like, you just never know what's coming. You know what I mean? So today is a good pain day. I can drive again. Like, I drove for the first time in 5 weeks.
Was that weird?
Yeah. I've been stuck at home. I read 26 books in October, you guys.
Amazing.
Because you had nothing else to do. You were a little laid up.
I mean,
tell us what's good.
I mean, Lindsey's over there like,
what's good. You're the expert. Yes. A lot of books. Lindsey needs to know everything that you read.
And all I'm thinking is Lindsey would totally sign up to not leave her house for 30 days and read.
So I am a total homebody, and I think I am a homebody, but I think when you can't do anything about it, you get a little stir crazy, right?
100%.
Well, so my girl child, she got hurt, and she is content sitting in the corner reading a book for hours on end. But by day 3, she's like, I'm really bored. And it's like, it's because you're not allowed to do anything.
Yeah.
And she popped her kneecap out of place and couldn't walk or anything.
Yeah, I could not use my left arm for 3 weeks. So literally everything I had to have done for me, like showering, washing my hair. I still can't put my hair in a ponytail, which sounds crazy, right? But I live with boys and they don't know how to do hair.
They don't.
Hair is a big thing, you guys.
But I'll tell you.
That's why when you have a boy, you let him grow his hair really long and he can man bun it. And so then he could do it for you.
My long hair child is in Fargo.
Yeah.
Well, this is true.
Okay, well.
Yes, that's what's happening, people.
We're happy to have you back.
But it's good to see your face.
Thanks. I'm excited to be back.
And then you got to meet a bucket list author this week.
Yes. Serena Bowen was in town, and she was awesome. She was very funny. She just released a book about a figure skater who turned skating coach. And so she was like, I like to do research. So she took skating lessons. She became a figure skater.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did know that. She shared it on her TikTok a little bit, some of her lessons and stuff.
She actually
I remember seeing that now.
She also talked about point of view on Friday, which is very interesting. So I will kind of shed some light into what she said. It was kind of interesting.
I am bummed I did not get to go. Toledo had Romance Con last weekend. So if you're listening and you live in Northwest Ohio or Southeast Michigan and you went to Romance Con, tell us how it was. Let us know. They had great authors. Nikki Payne was there, Christina Lauren, CM Nacosta. And then they had tons of indie authors that were also there. I know Lissa K. Adams was there, Bromance Book Club author. Maud Winters from... she was there. So I know lots of people went. It's just been a couple weeks. So my girl child, Burger Pinky. And then, I haven't talked to anybody, so nobody knows this. Yesterday, Mike Burr went for a bike ride. As he was leaving for his bike ride, I jokingly said, "Hey, don't fall off your bike and break your pinky."
Oh my God.
And he went out. He comes home. He hit like, I don't know, wet pavement, because it's snowing here now.
Mhm.
Wet pavement or whatever, but he fell off his bike, scraped his knees and his elbows like really bad. Didn't break a pinky. And he's like, "You know why I didn't break anything? Because I'm a tucker." And I'm like, "Okay, friend."
Oh my gosh.
Um,
How
so
is Mike Furrier today?
he's fine. His
Mhm.
knees are a little sore. I mean, you do not heal like you used to as a child. I remember
Mm-mm.
falling off my
No.
bike and,
Mhm.
blood running down my leg. I'd get back on my bike and keep going. Like, you don't
You
stop, but
like nothing happened.
yeah,
Road rash
Now everything
hurts.
hurts.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Everything hurts.
Well, and you're old, and so then like getting up and like everything is, it
Yeah.
take it
I
from
mean,
someone
we're at
else.
the age where like we wake up and you're like, how, like, what did I do in my sleep?
Nope.
Like, why did I throw my back
I
out while
already
I was
need to take
sleeping?
Advil, and it's like 7 in the morning because I hurt.
It's
Preemptively
like I
taking
woke
that.
up sore today.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
that was
Oh no,
that was
poor Mike.
yesterday, but it's fine.
Lindsay's like, I haven't hit that stage in my life yet.
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh no, I for sure have. Like, I
Okay.
have injuries from when I was in my 20s that I didn't rehabilitate. So, like, part of
Mm,
why I
Mhm.
work out the way that I do is because I do like Pure Barre, which is good for your joints, which makes
hmm
it so that, like my knee and my ankles that I messed up in my 20s and never did anything about,
Mhm.
can actually like move.
Yeah.
And
That's
so I don't
fair.
die hiking.
So that was our weekend around here, but it was fine. It's fine. I mean, I don't think like I feel bad Mike fell. Like totally my fault, take the blame, whatever. But
Yeah, you jinxed that.
I'm sharing that bed with that puppy and
Oh, the kicking.
I am too old to sleep with toddlers. Like I
Oh.
did my time. I did my time. And
Well, and they
Ollie,
also get up, right? I mean, puppies don't necessarily sleep through the night either.
oh, he would totally sleep through the night. The only
It's
reason he
Ollie's
doesn't
fault.
sleep through the night is Ollie doesn't like to sleep through the night because he hears noises from the big kids like throughout the house. But the other problem is that, Mike and I are of a certain age and you have to potty in the middle of the night. So when
Mm.
we get up, sometimes he's like, "I want to go up." But it's fine. He's fine. But it's like sleeping with a toddler, like the stretch. And
Mm.
he really
Uh-uh.
likes Mike and he likes to lay his head like right at Mike's face and just like
Snuggle
snore
him.
in his
He
ear.
likes to be the spoon, the
He and
little
Mike do
spoon.
spoon together. They do. Anyway.
Oh,
So yeah, that's the going on's happening here. Um
awesome.
Heather kind of talked about it a little bit. Um Today, we're talking about one of the biggest craft and reader preference debates in romance right now, first person versus third person POV.
Mhm.
What readers want, what authors are writing, and why publishers sometimes have other ideas. I did a poll on Discord and I did a poll in Patreon.
hmm
Overwhelmingly, I think we had 30 respondents. Overwhelmingly, our community prefers first person.
Not
But there
surprising.
is a good group of people that are like, I don't care if I want to read the story. I don't care what the POV is. I just read the story.
Oh,
And that's kind of who I
interesting.
am. But I think coming from where I was reading and what what was the standard. So first person is actually fairly newer.
hmm
So, coming off of the Bodice Rippers and the publish from, the early aughts into 2010, even if we look at the 50 Shades of Grey era, third person was the standard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it does not bother me, but I know that there are readers that
Well, but
scale both
I think,
ways.
I think a big part of it is I mean, like you said, it's our age because it's like had all like read third person so much.
But it was really
Oh,
interesting to see the poll because there are some people that only want to read third person. They are not interested in first person, which
hmm
is fair because sometimes, depending on the quality of the writing, first
Yeah.
person can feel like an unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
Like there can be gaps, especially if it's only a single POV. Like you don't necessarily trust how the story is moving, and it can feel slow in pacing if you get first person single POV.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't like single like first person POV if it's just single.
Yeah.
Like I don't necessarily love that.
For me on that one, it depends on the author. Like some authors, it doesn't bug me, but it depends on how they present the characters and whether or not like you need that other person's point of view.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
But
Lindsay,
we
you
can
have been
dive
kind of
into
reading
that.
out of the genre a little bit because
Yeah.
you have your space goo and all of that stuff, and that's third person.
Yeah, it is.
So, do you have a preference in romance?
Hmm. I mean, my preference is that it be well done and you pick whatever you need to get it done well.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Hmm.
I'm I think like it's way more common for us to get first person, but like one of the like I have pet peeves with both that are like,
Yeah.
okay, well you're doing this in a dumb way and I'm not gonna read you anymore because this is like really poorly. Like first person when they overlap like when events overlap and they're like redundantly telling you things from both perspectives, like a lot. I
Yeah.
hate that so much. Like don't give me two-person view.
I
Give me
don't
third-person view in that instance.
I don't mind it as a transition. So if the last, say, 3 paragraphs, Natasha Madison does this, and I don't
Yeah.
mind it in her books. Oftentimes, the last 3 paragraphs in chapter, when you go to the next chapter, it switches POV. The first 3 paragraphs will be,
It's not even that much sometimes. Sometimes it's like a half of like it's like a sentence or like
yeah.
a word of dialogue like that introduces it to the
But
other
I
side too.
do like that transition because it kind of helps your focus,
Mm-hmm.
that you are still in that moment. Because, okay, here is my thing. Oftentimes with first person, and I think this is why I do not like duet style of narration. Oftentimes you can be, because this is why I am not a huge fan of S.J. Tilley's books. We're in this immersive scene, like you're really just getting into it. It breaks in the middle of the chapter to give me a chapter of 2 sentences. Then it goes back to the other person's POV and back into this intense narrative.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't need that chapter of 2 freaking sentences.
No.
And I often feel that same way in duet styling of audiobooks. Like you're going along, you're hearing her voice, she's talking about things, and all of a sudden you've got, and that's the way it goes. Like some deep, stupid voice that doesn't make any sense.
That totally sounded like Cookie Monster.
I know, I didn't mean it to. But so it's a very personal preference, obviously.
Hmm.
But it was really interesting to me because there was a couple of weeks ago a literary agent on Threads, which, whoa, that
The
place.
Wild Wild West.
The Wild Wild West. She
Hmm.
was basically, don't send me a book in first person. Publishers don't want it. I don't want it. Don't do it. Which is really interesting because 90%
But
of
do readers want that? I mean,
traditional published readers, they do.
Yeah.
Because, and this is where that elitism of the elitism of trad pub comes out. They're saying their readers want that, except if we look at romance coming out of Bloom and Source, those are all first person. And those are the ones making New York Times. Is Nevessa Allen's third person or first person?
First.
First.
She's first. She's
So
first.
New York
and
Times. Megan Quinn is,
yeah. And it's
uh
always dual point of view too.
yeah. So it's really interesting.
well, Catherine Cowles, didn't she just make the New York Times or something?
She
Yep.
did.
First person. She sometimes has a third POV if the big bad gets chapters.
Yeah. Every once in a while she'll throw
Those,
that in.
I like those a lot.
Yeah.
Kennedy Mitchell does that. I like how
It depends on how it's done, though, because
Rick
I've
Kennedy's
read
good
books
at
where they
it.
do it. She is, I will fully admit, but there are some authors who throw that other point of view in, and it's so jarring in the story, and it's like, I didn't need that. Like it's out of place, but sometimes it works really well.
Well,
Which so
A.L.
that doesn't bug
Jackson
me.
mixes POVs. She does her
No,
flashbacks
yeah, flashbacks are always in third.
third. She tells her flashbacks in third, but her present day stuff is done in first.
Well, and there are authors who like Riley Edwards did in her Gemini series where the male, I think it was the male point of view was in third, but the female point of view was all in first.
See, and I don't like that. I want the book to just
It
be the same.
it threw me off. It took a little bit.
So because that's
And
gonna
she hasn't
mess.
done it since, but
That's gonna mess with readers' immersiveness. It's gonna mess with
yeah.
cadence, and you obviously it's to me just looking at how our community pulled with POV, switching
Mm-hmm.
POV like that. Because the one thing that is hands down people do not want, at least in romance, head hopping.
Yeah.
People do not want head hopping in romance.
And I don't mind head hopping if
No,
it's done well.
so like that's one thing with the Expanse series. They head hop a lot. Like you get a group of characters. The story is told from like maybe 4 or 5 different points of view, and the character like it opens up with some character's perspective. Usually not the I guess like the main narrator, but like every single narrator is chosen for a purpose and it makes sense. But there is a lot, like, I wouldn't say it's even head hopping per se. It's just like, it's definitely written more third person, but like the perspective is based on like, it jumps around to whatever's happening with those characters. So it does give like the head hopping experience.
Well, but it's almost like a narrator is telling the story of all these people.
It is exactly like that. And it just like jumps around to whatever's happening with each of them. So it's like third person, but it's head hopping. And I like it for the purpose of the story. I think like you have to be really clear about what kind of point of view you're writing and why. Because if
Mm,
you do it badly, it means the pacing could be bad.
But
Like point of view.
the standard in fantasy is third person,
yeah.
Yeah.
is an overhead narrator. And I think head hopping is pretty standard in fantasy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I guess it depends on the type of fantasy they're telling. If it's a world building journey type fantasy, it is going to have more internal narrative versus head hopping.
Which might be like I have a hard time tracking, right? Like I maybe it's because my ADHD is unchecked. And
I,
so like me trying to keep track of multiple people on a page is like, wait, I can only do like one at a time.
yeah, and
Well, I
I
think it also depends on how it's presented too, because like I think there are some authors that there's no need, like you can follow and there's not an issue, but it's all on the way the characters are written and the story is written and the cleaner and more concise like the creation
Mhm.
of the novel is, it makes it easier to follow no matter whether there's head hopping or not.
so we do have some definitions I'm going to go down through real quick before we get into some of these other things to think about with POV. First person POV, the narrator is the character telling the story directly using I or we. Third person or deep POV, the story is told from a he, she, they, but the reader only sees the thoughts and emotions from one character at a time, immersive and emotional, but not in their direct voice. Deep is also going to eliminate he saw, she said. So you're not going to see those. Third person, omniscient.
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 Okay.
Isn't there? Okay. It's the God view. Who cares? It's God. Anyway,
Omniscient.
it's shit.
Just trust.
The
Just trust
Um,
me.
The narrator knows everything, all characters' thoughts, history, and motivation. Rare in modern romance, but it feels more distant. This is definitely going to be more in genre fiction and in fantasy, the God view. Head hopping, when the POV jumps between characters mid-scene or even mid-paragraph without clear transition, it breaks readers' immersiveness. It is generally discouraged in the modern craft, though older romances, especially in the 80s and 90s, used it often. Also, if you're Nora Roberts, you get to use it.
Yeah, but she can do whatever the fuck she wants because she's Nora Roberts.
If you're Nora Roberts, you get to use it.
Mm-hmm.
Jenny says she struggles with internal monologue in third. And I agree, because what happens is sometimes I think internal monologue, period, first or third, slows down the pacing of the story. And I just had this conversation with a client. I was trying to explain to them readability when it comes to a book, and about how you can trick your readers into thinking a book is faster than it is. And that has to do with short paragraphs and breaking up your dialogue. So make every line a dialogue. Don't put it at the beginning of a long paragraph. Make it its own thing, then have the paragraph. And keep your paragraph short. There's nothing wrong with a 3-sentence paragraph. So if you have like a 7-sentence paragraph, break it into minimum 2 paragraphs, ultimately 3. Because if we all think about it, when we open a book and look at it, we're looking for the indentations, right? Or the starts of dialogue. And if a reader can turn a page, they feel like the book is fast. Or if you can click your screen, it tricks a reader into thinking a book is reading faster than it actually is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's also why many readers will say, I read faster on my Kindle. Well, honestly, if you compare your page of Kindle One to the paperback Kindle One, there's probably half as many paragraphs on the Kindle
because
page.
it also depends on the size they use on the Kindle too.
Well, right. Versus what's on the paperback. So the idea of flipping or tapping your screen to flip your page to swipe makes it feel faster. You probably aren't reading any faster. It just feels faster.
I haven't read a paperback book in probably 5 years.
I have read 4 this week.
I am proud of you. I cannot even imagine.
Okay, but
That's
in all
insanity.
fairness,
Please,
we
you did not
talked
crack
about
the
this
spines,
last.
did you?
I hope she
Leah,
did.
I cracked 2 of the spines were hardbacks. Neither of them made the sound. Something's wrong with them. They're brand new.
Gloria sent me a TikTok of a woman asking at the library for if a new book was in, and the library hands it over, and she picks it up, cracks it, and then bends the cover over and starts reading it. And I was like, but I don't even care.
No, I was so upset. I was like, this was supposed to make the spine crack. And then I sat there playing with it on my kitchen table, like, press the back cover, press the front cover. Me open it at the same time. I was like messing with it. And I was like,
Why would you do that?
I don't know. I don't know why I do half the things, but I was like, shouldn't the spine have cracked? I was like, is there a defect with my book? I was because it's brand new. And it was like one of them was a special edition. I know, don't even. And then the other one, but Leah's grimacing.
She really is.
The other one was the book I picked up at the this one was like a trad pub book that was like hardback, brand new. It just released, I think, in like September. And like,
yeah, but that one's already cracked. Kids, that's cheating.
No, I was first owner. I also messed the pages up when I was screwing around with that one.
Oh my god, did you dog ear the freaking pages?
No.
He used to do that like way back, but I don't do that anymore.
I mean, I will fully admit, when I was growing up, like, I loved to crack spine because, well, first off, we didn't have e-readers, so you had to read the paperbacks. But it's like a well-loved book. Like, that's what you wanted. Now, it stresses me the fuck out.
My mom buys she reads all these books, right? She just reads probably 2 books a week, and she buys them all. She will not use an e-reader. But she gives them to me to put on my bookshelves. And she goes, I know you don't like the spines cracked. And then I always wash my hands so then I don't get any grease or anything. She is like so careful. I'm like,
you have taught her well.
Well, and so then she's reading this Catherine Collins book, and she goes, "It's like a suspense. There's like a mystery." I go, "Yeah, it's called romantic suspense." Oh, I really like those. I think I need more of these. I'm like, okay, well, I have a long list for you, but you're not gonna be able to find them at Target.
Yeah, seriously. My mom uses a Kindle. So like anytime I see her, like I'll be like, here, give me your Kindle. I'm gonna download some books for you. She's like, okay.
That's so funny. Okay, things to know POV trends in romance. First person, especially dual first person, is what dominates Kindle Unlimited and the indie romance. Third person deep remains the standard in traditional publishing. It also tends to be the standard in romantic suspense, historical romance, and category romance.
I don't think I've ever read a category that isn't third.
No, I don't think so either. I think all my categories have always been third.
Like I don't think I've ever read a category.
Did I
that's
tell
not
you
third.
I found a category at the library sale that was a Janet Ivanovich
You
category
showed it to me when we were
from
FaceTiming the other day.
1986?
Oh my
Anyway,
gosh.
Which Becky and I were both like, we did not realize she started in category.
I didn't know she started in category. That's obscene. Many younger, newer readers, especially in the book talk community, find first person more intimate and feel like being inside the FMC's head. Many also blame this newer to romance reader that is looking for all first person POVs. They're part of the problem that historical romance has stumbled because they're the first to say historical romance has always been written in third person, used to have head hopping, doesn't so much anymore. But many new to romance readers feel that the historical romance, it lectures you. So they feel like people are trying to shove shit down their throats and move agendas, and they don't feel that when it's in first person. Third person offers smoother transitions between perspectives and a cinematic narrative feel. So if you think, so Lindsey, you're probably the perfect person to ask this question to. So do you feel like it's a shift in the reader experience when you go from third person into a first person romance? Outside of the fact that you're not reading about space goo, you're reading about other goo.
Usually, I just read whatever. And my only time I complain is when the book itself is poorly written, and it's never usually a complaint about point of view. So, like, usually I can just go, like, outside of this year, usually I would read, like, anywhere from 3 to 6 books a week. And I would just like fly through them, like one book straight to the other. Don't care about point of view. It's fine. Like once I start reading a book, I'm in a new mind space. It's like walking into a different room. Like in the kitchen room, there's food. When I'm in the new book, I know there's whatever tropes are for that book. And like my expectations are usually in line with like what kind of book I'm reading, like what are the tropes, like what's the blurb, why am I interested in this book? And that kind of like sets my expectations. And then when I start reading, I usually am able to like fully immerse no matter what, unless there's bad writing.
Yeah.
Like pacing issues are like the first thing. Dumb shit. Sorry.
No,
Why
it's
are you saying
fair.
you're sorry?
Just say
That was
it.
just like dumb stuff like what Amy Dawes did and that god awful
Oh,
book,
God.
like that have scarred me
Oh, why
for
did you
life.
bring
Like
that back
kind
up?
I am
Rant.
just
I mean-
telling you the kind of stuff that ruins a book for me, Leah. Like that is months later, years later, I'm still gonna be like that time that lady ruined everything for me. Like
We can never ask for ranch at a restaurant ever again because of that lady.
I'm just
We got
grateful Kenny
takeout.
stopped sending pictures of ranch in
We
the
got
group
takeout
chat.
yesterday and it had like little cups of ranch in
Yeah.
it, and that was
Well,
honestly what I thought of.
I hate this book. Like I don't eat ranch. I changed my dressing preferences subconsciously.
Okay.
I'm glad I didn't read it because I do like a good homemade ranch.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I do love a homemade ranch. I will still eat that. I will not get the specific.
Anyway.
Anyway,
But yeah, that's the kind of stuff that like really starts my irritations with a book. Like it's usually POV is an afterthought. Like once I'm irritated with a book, then I'll find everything that's wrong with the book.
Fair.
POV is an
Okay,
afterthought.
so for Heather and Leah, oftentimes romantic suspense will be written in third person. I
Yeah.
think most of Susan's is done in third, right?
Susan only writes in third, and she will never write in first.
Right. She's been,
Direct quote from that woman.
yeah, she's very clear about it.
well, I have not even noticed, and I read Susan Stoker. So what does that tell you? I'm not very observant. That's probably what it tells you.
Do you find issues with it going from first person to third person?
Sometimes it's very jarring for me, and I have DNF'd a book. Like if I can't get into it, I'm like,
But
I
is it
can't.
the
What
point
is
of
up
view
with
that's
this?
the But is it the point of view that's the problem, or just the bad, like the bad book?
It could. I don't know. Like it could be both, right? Like I don't know. Sometimes I'm not prepared for it. So if I'm reading like women's fiction, right? Like then that's something
Mm.
different. The third person is fine. But
But like I
yeah.
mean, we've done a couple of trad books over the course of the last couple months for our Wednesday episodes, and we have said multiple times on those episodes, I really wish we had had the second POV, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
now we didn't say that this week was rom-com.
No, but it was third, and it was set up a little bit differently too.
Yeah.
I wonder if that is where my issue with some trad pub comes from.
It likely is. It really likely
Mhm.
is. Sorry. So sorry. It really likely is. I think that a lot of times, especially with some trad labels, third comes off preachy. Like, honestly,
Mhm.
if I get a book from Forever, and I'm not blanket stating every book from Forever, but oftentimes I'll get a book from the publisher Forever, and those books tend to be more misses for me. Same with Avon.
Mm.
Those tend to be more misses because those editors are firm in third, and they always feel a little preachy, a little lectury in the writing. Instead of telling me a story, it feels like it's lecturing me a story. And there's a difference between telling a story and lecturing, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
So I'm really good with words
Do you
tonight.
think in trad pub though they use the third like the you know how like there's the singular view third person? I do think
Mm-hmm.
they do that to build yearning because like I've noticed you'll get like or at least like a bunch that I've read, like you'll get third person, but you won't actually get any other perspective of what's
Right.
happening. It's just third person from a singular character's point of view. And I think they use that as a mechanism to build like yearning and anticipation and like emotion. And that's fine. It's not
Well, because then you're relying on cues in the writing to tell you how the other person is responding
Yeah.
to your desires, your attraction, your small touches. You're using the person that
Well, and
it's,
that's where good dialogue comes in.
yeah.
Like when you have like
Mhm.
conversation, things like that. Like, and that's like when I come across a book like that, as long as the dialogue and the interactions are well done, I don't care that I don't get that other person's point of view. But if there's a little bit of that lacking and like I want to be more in the headspace of that other person, other character to see like what they're really feeling, like that's when I dislike
Do you,
the singular
and I can't
POV.
think of what we read, Leo. We read something that there was deception in it. And so the question is, are certain tropes that work better in one POV versus another? And deception and miscommunication, I think, is something that does not
It does not.
do well in third person single POV.
No, because you
Mhm.
need to you need to know, you need to understand like where their thought process is with this deception. Like why did they make the decisions they did? Why did they go into it like making the choices? How are they feeling after the other person finds out about it too? Like whether it's like perceived or Like,
Now, in my research, one of the things that came up was that first person allows more emotional intimacy, and I disagree.
I disagree too.
I think if it's a very well done, well written first person, then it absolutely can.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But these books that we've been bitching about for 3 weeks now that are here for the vibes,
Yeah. There's
there
no
is
like
no
real,
emotional intimacy because there's no yearning. So Heather, I don't
There's
think,
more problems wrong with them though
yeah,
than just that.
well, there
They,
is.
there's like,
just go,
Okay,
Lindsay.
but
Let it
wait. So
go.
I wanted to tell Heather this story. So Heather, I was
Mm.
working at the bookshop last weekend, and this woman was like, "I really want small town romance," and I said, "Okay." So I took her over and I showed her some, and I said, "Oh," and there was a Laura Pavlov there, and I was like, "Oh, here, this one she writes small town. People really like them." I said they're soft and easy reads. She goes, "Yeah, I read that." I shut the book and can't tell you a damn thing about it. The only reason I know
Mm.
I read it is the title. And I was like, "Oh,
Well,
okay."
here's a
But
book you
those
can
are first
read.
person POV, and I use them as an example because those books are a lot of surface. We don't get deep
Yeah.
emotional intimacy in those particular books versus Catherine Cowell writes in first person, Maggie Gates writes in first person. We do get deep emotional stories. So I think it comes down to quality of writing.
Hmm.
I don't think it's a given that first person POV is going to give you emotional intimacy.
It definitely depends on the author.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say this because I have a lot of not nice thoughts anymore and I don't like to filter. But I read a lot of alien romances and like sci-fi stuff and like paranormal and like I would take shorter stories that are like not as complicated in terms of emotions, but there's like layers of complexity that are there that add so much more in like 250 pages. Like, because a lot of them are really short, quick reads.
Mm-hmm.
There's more complexity in a 250 page book that doesn't even take place on planet Earth than a lot of like,
Contemporaries.
yeah,
Hmm.
like
You're not wrong.
no, I mean, like, it's just, it comes down to knowing how to plot a book, knowing how to use the devices that you have,
Mm-hmm.
and like executing on it well. And like, I think like point of view in particular is important because like if you are writing dual point of view, how are you moving the plot forward while jumping back and forth between them? Because that's a skill and it also takes
But I
kind of
think,
an idea in your I don't know if you can, I mean, people do it however which way, but I think you have to be aware of like potential plot holes, probably more so in dual first person
Hmm.
and
Well,
third.
but that's also like my thing is like that's also where a really good editor is worth their salt because
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
you can have an author who writes a great book, but it's still flawed. But if they have a good editor who goes through and says, I need more stakes here, I like,
right.
why are these
Well,
parents not showing
but
back
there
up
are some
here?
authors that are never, no matter how great their editor is, they're always
Yeah.
going to write surface. They're not used,
Yeah.
there's not a self exploration, which is one of the things that I think third deep. So if we think of a Krista Sandor book,
Yeah.
let's think Not Your Average Vixen, that's third deep. That's
Yeah.
third person deep. And if we think about it, that book gives us an expansive world,
Mhm.
multiple arcs,
Yeah.
Hmm.
emotional intimacy, and it feels cinematic with how
Mhm.
she writes,
Yeah.
which I think that's part of the reason that trad tries to stick to third person POV
Yeah.
because trad is also looking at the other rights that this story could launch.
Yeah.
TV, audio, shorts, whatever.
Yeah.
So,
But again, like I'll go back to that, like her point of view, I don't have a problem with like how she writes point of view. Like one of the things that make her a great author to me is that like even though she writes very long books, the plot is still tight. Like everything serves a purpose. She will cast out a wide net of loose ends to wrap up,
Mm-hmm.
but she doesn't leave anything loose in the end. So like you get a complete story, and like she's a great example of like an author, I feel like, who uses a whole toolkit to deliver just like really top-notch romance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we talk about industry standards, and I think, and this is something that feel like we've been yelling about since 2023. Right now, TradPub is building their profits on the backs of indie authors.
Yeah.
You know, just this last week, that Firefighter series, the 3-book multi-author series, got picked up.
Fight and
Yep, got picked up by Zando. You know, we are seeing weekly a title getting picked up into TradPub. Many authors that, you know, were indie are now, you know, TradPub. And I say that because one of the things that I think that indies can do is they have more freedom than a trad author.
Yeah.
You get to choose your editor. You get to choose the way your story and series works. You get to take risks that a trad author and a trad publisher are not going to take. And what can happen is, and it's kind of what we saw with like Lights Out and even like Kennedy Ryan's books, even I'm trying to think. Even like Maggie Gates books and stuff like that have gotten picked up for trad, they took risks that were against the current flow or the current expectations, and were able to do some things. I mean, Victoria Wilder with her Bourbon Brothers series, she was able, you know, to take some risks. She wrote suspense in first person, which was different. And was able to push the markers, and she had a lot more freedom as an indie author to take those risks. Now she's been picked up, and you know, who knows what the next series will look like? Will publishing allow her? Because we've even seen that happen for us with an author, right? Like, oh my God, we love this author. We're so excited you got picked up for a trad deal, and then we read the trad book and we're like,
Well, it's like, I mean, I've never read her, but just from what you guys have said, Helena Hunting, her indie books and her trad books have very different voices.
100%.
yeah.
And different spice levels too.
Sarah,
I mean, not the chess pieces one, the one where they're all named
well,
after chess
but
pieces.
it's Montlake is a different
Montlake is a different style of book
of
that's
editing.
why. There's a little more freedom in the way that
but
the
we're talking
authors are
about
allowed
her
to
ones
craft
that
them.
she had, that sister series with St. Martin's Press.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that
Kiss My
so
Cupcake was with
Helena
Forever.
is funny. Like her books, she embeds humor so effortlessly in her books. And that sister series was not funny.
No.
It didn't read like a Helena book.
Well, and we've seen that with other authors too. Like when they have like their indie books, they take risks, they do what they want, and then they're almost stunted in their writing when they get their trad deals. And their writing can be sound, but the voice is just very different.
Well, and I think we're going to see a big shift in trad and what they're putting out. I don't think in romance third will be the standard anymore, because Jen Ellen is saying, you know, most of the first person books are the ones getting optioned. But again, those are the ones that are getting picked up that were indie, popular authors. Those are the ones being read by the younger readers right now, the book talk readers. They're the ones that want first person. They don't care how long a book is, as long as it's super sexy and over the top. That's all they want. But if we look at Tessa Bailey, is she writing third person? Is her new series? Yeah, her new series is third person.
I think she's done both. I feel like I've read something by her that's in first. Maybe it's not.
So you've got Tessa Bailey, you know, they haven't really toned her down, but she hasn't really done anything new or risk taking, versus when she was when she lost her trad deal and then went indie for a while and then went trad, she did take risks. That's how she sold It Happened One Summer, because she took risks and then sold it to Source and was able to get it out in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a freedom that comes with being an indie author, and I have so many other thoughts on this indie to trad pipeline that I won't get into it. I'll just save it for my Grumpy Lady Substack.
There you go.
I
We should just
do.
call it that, the Grump Stack.
Grump Stack.
I like that.
I do remember the first book that I read in dual point of view, though, and it sort of was like, oh, and it was a YA book,
Mm-hmm.
and it was written in 2010, and I remember the kid, like it was this book I recommended to my students, and they were like, this is so cool, I love that it's in different, like you get both perspectives, and it felt like, I was like, oh, that's so like cool, like why haven't we had this before? You know?
Yeah. No, Jenny, I don't think publishing will ever get rid of the old white people. They are going to die in those chairs. They just are. So do you think one POV is sexier than another POV? So are the sexy times, the spicy times, are those better in first person, or are those better in third?
It doesn't matter, because it depends on the author. It is how the book is written. Like, because I have read third person books that I'm like, hot damn. But I've also had that exact same thought in a first person book. So for me, it doesn't matter. It depends on how the book is written. Because if it's written well, the point of view doesn't matter.
Okay, here's my next question. Do you think first person makes it harder to remember characters' names?
I know you do.
I think a bad book makes it utterly forgettable.
Yeah.
If it's a really good book, I'll remember the characters' names.
I
If
do
it's
think it's
not-
harder in first person to remember a character's name.
I
Especially if
don't
the
think it
author
is.
doesn't
at the
put
top
it.
of the chapter.
But so many don't do that.
Yeah.
I think it depends. Like if the book is forgettable, like whether I finish it or not, like, I mean, I'm probably not going to forget the names, but like I also don't care.
I don't often forget names, but I think that could be just because of my profession. Like, names are like a big deal, right?
Yeah.
So I think that could be it. I personally like when authors like name the chapter. I think that's something that's gone out of style. And I've noticed that more people are doing it again. And I'm like, oh, I like this. It's kind of like a little foreshadowing for what's coming, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
like
give
Bryn
me a
and Layla
title
both do
chapter.
that.
I love a title chapter. Give me a title chapter, but also give me the character whose point of view this chapter is in.
Yep.
I want these things. I need these things. Stacy says first person audio, yes. You're not wrong. And I have been doing much more audio than I have been doing eyeball
But I think
reading.
narration, it depends too, because again, like if it's a narrator worth their salt, I don't care.
I do.
If Sebastian is talking to you, do you care if he's talking to you in first or third?
No, but I'm not going to remember his character's name.
Yeah, but you don't even care though, because Sebastian is speaking to you.
Teddy Hamilton.
So.
Oh, I've been listening to Teddy the past couple of days. It's delightful.
Can I just tell you something super funny about Teddy?
Yeah.
Of course.
So in 2022, I brought Serena's books to Vegas to have the narrator sign them. And I was like, she bucket list, she would do it. So of course they write funny things in the book and like take up the whole page to be funny. So then the author can't. So Serena starts laughing when she looks at what Teddy and Jacob Morgan or whoever, I can't remember, wrote in there. And so she took pictures of our books because of what they wrote in there. Mm-hmm.
What did they write?
I don't know. They made a joke about the weather and my name, like Heather, you know what I mean? And then I can't remember something else they said. It was funny.
Menaces, all of them. So if there was only one POV, do you think third person deep would be the happy medium?
Yeah.
between trad and indie styling.
I do.
Is that the good bridge?
I think it's really the only bridge you can have.
I mean, honest question. Because Leah knows. I mean, she hears my gripes from publishing meetings all the time, every week,
I do.
every day. Also,
Becky has Festivus every day.
Michael was telling me something like one week, last week or the week before, there was something like 48 hours of communication use on our internet and Wi-Fi, meaning like Zoom meetings and video calls and stuff like that. And I'm like, I peopled a lot that week. It was a rough week for me.
Oh, that was like 3 weeks ago because you had a meeting like every day.
And multiple meetings every day.
Yeah, I remember that week.
I'm supposed to work for myself from home where I never have to talk to people. But then I was having a lot of meetings. It was terrible.
So if they switch to the third person, there's enough first person books out there that would keep all of us that want to read first person in business. Do you know what I'm saying?
So, but do you think publishing will ever make, at least in romance, I am not talking about anything else, I'm only talking about romance. Do you think that they'll ever make it more common first person than third?
I don't think so because I think they're so stuck.
But even, because you got Elsie Silver, she signed a 7-figure deal for her next book at Atria.
Though, but I'm curious to see if it's in first or if it's in third.
I think it has to be in first because that's what her readers expect.
Yeah.
The thing is,
Can I
with
just
money
snark
talks,
on her new book?
What?
Can I just snark on her new book?
In just a minute,
Yes.
what was Heather going to say?
well, I think money talks.
Right.
And so the deal is if these indie authors that are being picked up for trad deals and they write in first person and that is making money, then like there's these old white people that want the third person, the money has to talk at some point, right?
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with that.
And I think it will depend on the draw of the author whether or not they comply.
Get the choice.
Well, and the
change,
other piece is reading is very trendy right now.
It is.
Yeah.
And how much longer is reading going to be trendy? I mean, I hope it's stays
I don't. I
trendy.
hope the mean girls get out and find a new hobby, go back to makeup. Get out.
But how long are they going to sustain? Yeah.
Okay. You can
Let
hate
Lindsey
on that book, and then we're going to go to book of the week. So hate away.
I'm just gonna say, like, and it's relevant because, like, with point of view, you need to make decisions that work and make sense for your book. Her new book has a saguaro cactus on it, on the cover, and when it came out, I was like,
Those cactuses don't live in Canada.
unless this book is in Arizona, don't put a saguaro on your damn book. Sorry, I just am like, what?
Well,
Just
like,
so you
do
know,
your
put the
research, because
Becky questioned whether or not those cactuses are in Canada.
no, they are definitely, they couldn't survive. They're at a very specific elevation. They don't even, like, New Mexico is too high elevation. Like, we have a completely different desert and we're
Well,
next door.
and aren't they protected? And you, like, if there's one in your yard, you have to get permission to dig it up. They root ball it and then move it to a specified
They move it.
location.
They do not get rid of them. They take forever to grow. And they're incredible. They're like 30 feet tall if you haven't seen them. They're beautiful. And they're very specific to a very specific type of desert, the Sonoran Desert, which is in a very small part of Mexico, Arizona, and like basically a non-existent part, like a so tiny part of New Mexico, like, and California. Like, they're not in New Mexico and California, pretty much. Like, that's not where you see them. It's pretty much just Arizona.
I find it so interesting that she was okay with that cover because she gets dinged a lot over on Threads. Again, Threads. I wish we had like the Wild West, like the whistle sound or something every time we say Threads.
Like
anyway,
Burrier.
she gets dinged a lot over there about, do you think that her men are MAGA? And she always is quick to defend herself and say, I write Canadian cowboys. And it's like, sister, we know there's MAGA in Canada. We've been seeing it happen. But she's very quick to say, I write Canadian men. They're not the same as U.S. men. And it's like, okay. But now you're like putting A
The
very
wrong cactus on your
the wrong
book.
cactus. Maybe your men aren't as Canadian as you want us to think they are. Um, okay, well, we'll talk about that another day. I don't even know what we're talking about next week, but
That's
okay,
a really good question, actually.
You want me to plot it? No plot.
no
I just
plot.
have I had the document up. Let me see.
Um, okay, it's that
It's that
time.
time.
I gotta remember
For
what we're supposed to be
book
doing.
of
Book of
the
Ah,
the week. Book
week.
of the week time.
Heather's like, I can't do jazz hands with
I
both.
can't. I can only move one hand.
Heather, what is your book of the week?
So I went on a deep, deep mafia dive. It's not my book of the week, so I'm just going to kind of gloss over one of them. I read it's about an art thief. It's by Tara Crescent, so she's an art thief. So I started reading that when the whole Louvre thing went down, and then it was like a 5-book mafia series, and I cannot get out of mafia. So I found a new author, and it is the title of the book is called Savage Promises. It's by Deborah Garland.
I like her
It is
books.
an Irish mafia series set in New York, and
They're bonkers.
it's these books are like 348 pages, and it is like an
Bonkers.
emotional roller coaster, and it's all over the place, and there's like angst and there's drama. It's like messy family,
So
and
messy. They're really
so
good.
messy, and they're so good.
No,
So
I like
he's
these ones a
supposed to
lot.
marry one sister, but he's actually in love with the other sister. And you guys, these books are I've
But there's
read
a
one
marriage like arrangement.
Wait, what was the art thief book called?
The Thief by
The
Tara
Thief.
Crescent.
By Tara Crescent.
Yep. But this series, The Savage Promises by Deborah Garland, these are the messy family. Like, we're talking messy. Messy.
It's delightful.
So good.
Okay.
So good.
I will link both of those on our On the Shelf show notes at buzzingaboutromance.com. Leah, what is your book of the week?
So I read a new author. Her name is Mackenzie Madden. I was reading her author notes in the back, and she started as a Wattpad author, and she does like there's a couple other things that she does too, but it was not Wattpad length, which made me very happy. But it's called The Ring Thief. So when the book opens up, the Lily and Declan are on their honeymoon, and she overhears a phone call, and he is calling somebody else sweetheart, and so she like it like devolves from there. So like the whole premise is like they got together based on a lie, but they'd been dating for like a year, and then they got married, and his father is a piece of shit, and like he has this female friend who also there's a lot of other woman drama. There's no cheating in this one because we all know that I read those too, but there's actually no cheating in this one. But it was actually really enjoyable. I liked it. There's a lot of there's messiness in it, in the sense where like he comes from like an abusive background, and like he's a CEO, but he steps down, and he basically grovels for 90% of the book because like he recognizes like how big he fucked up by not trusting her. And I was pleasantly surprised because I came across it on the TikTok, and I was like, I'm gonna give this a whirl. And I typically like will just go find like that little piece in the book and then like get out of it, because like 3 paragraphs later, I'm like, this is really dumb and I don't want to read this. But 3 paragraphs later, I was really like invested. So yeah, it was very good.
Okay. Lindsay, what's your book of the week?
So, I went to a book I guess like a book fair at a brewery a couple weeks ago.
Oh, like a pop-up.
Yeah, I did. And I picked up an embroidery of souls by Ruby Martinez, who is a local author here. And it was like signed, and I'm very excited. And I'm hoping to go to like an author event. But this is part of my like, I'm actually going to read my physical copy books initiative. So I
cracked
started
the
reading it.
spine,
I read
didn't
like
you?
75%, 80% of it. I have a little bit more to go, but the book is really good so far. Like I've really enjoyed it. It is the female main character is a thread weaver, so she has thread magic where she like
Oh, that's
To
cool.
seal people's fate by weaving thread. So like death, love, whatever she wants you to suffer, like she can make that
Nice.
happen. And she's summoned to serve the queen. Her mother is like suddenly disappeared. Her love interest they get paired up to solve um, to investigate a serial killer who's like going around and killing people, like basically a person a week. It's crazy. It's like drops you right into the world. The female main character has anxiety, and that's like not I don't I don't remember reading a lot of characters in like a romantasy type book where
Mm-hmm.
the female main character has like from the beginning when you meet her, like the representation for that is pretty consistent and
Awesome.
good. And
That sounds really
really
interesting.
enjoyed this book so far. I love it. The cover's beautiful. Um,
I'm so
the
excited
spine
for you.
did not crack. This is the one I was talking about earlier.
Spine would not crack.
Um,
Okay, real quick before I say my book of the week, before I jumped onto this, I was on Instagram. Do you know Chicagoland bookstores came together and they have a book trolley? You can rent a trolley for a couple hours and it'll drive you. There are 4 different routes you get to pick from, and you stop at like 4 to 6 indie bookshops on the trolley and you can have drinks. It's like a party bus for Christmas and books.
that sounds awesome.
That sounds fabulous.
I
In
want to do
Chicago,
this
I'm
in
going to
Chicago.
Chicago next summer.
Chicago is so
Well, this is for Christmas.
glorious.
Like, this is happening right
It's
now.
just for Christmas?
I think so. It was a holiday book trolley. Anyway, okay,
That sounds fun.
right?
Oh.
So my book of the week is Mistletoe Masquerade by Jill Ramsauer. It comes out November the 19th. This was a short. I've not read this series yet. I haven't read book 1, and I think book 2 is out already, maybe?
It's out already. No, this is the one that she just finished. I think it was book 3 that just came out.
Is
This
it
is
part of the Burn series?
this is part of the
It's this-
Moretti.
It's the spin-off of the Morettis, and
Mm.
I'm pretty sure book 3 just came out because it's the neurospicy hero.
I think there's only 2 books of this series out right now.
I think there's 3.
Mm, no, I think book 3 does not come out till August.
Oh,
I'm like,
August.
I did not read. Yeah, no.
So I
it
think
comes out
she's
in
only
August.
got 1 book out then for this Moretti, for the Morettis.
No,
There's 2.
Okay.
Devil's Thirst and Death's Favor.
So this is part of that series. And I
I will
haven't
say
read
Jill
those.
Ramsauer writes a really strong novella.
She really does. It was the perfect balance of spice and story. It's very much insta love, lots of insta love characters. It's a Cinderella retelling. You do meet these characters in book 1 and book 2. So, but I wasn't lost just picking this up. It did make me want to go back and read book 1 and book 2 of this series.
Oh, I did book 1. He's a little bit of a psycho, and I really enjoyed
I was
him.
going to say, I thought someone had said like he's over the top.
Oh, he is. He stalks her. He totally stalks her.
Do we see
Totally.
Ollie over here snicking his nose up?
No. Oh, yeah, there he
He's
is.
trying to
Somebody I met on Friday night was like, I really like mafia, but I don't really like murder. And I'm like, okay, so then Jill Ramsauer is your gal. I'm like, 100%. Just start there. Just read Jill Ramsauer.
Yeah. Stanley. Sorry.
The cover is great for this one. The Mistletoe Masquerade.
Yeah, it's really
It's
great.
very pretty.
He's very attractive. I really enjoyed the book. So I highly recommend it when it comes out on the 19th. And I'm got so many holiday novellas and books that I need to read, so probably for the foreseeable future it's going to be a little bit of Christmas books my way. Okay, Patreon update. You can join us over on Patreon. We appreciate all your support. I finally came up with a really great idea to celebrate everyone who's been with us for 5 years. And so hoping to get those made and out in the mail in the next month. And then make sure if you're part of Patreon, you've updated your address because I will be sending Christmas cards out with some holiday goodies in them. I'm really proud of myself. I made like a whole holiday Christmas bookish sticker sheet all by myself. Nobody else had to help me.
That's so exciting.
Nice.
I did it all myself. It was, why are you laughing?
I'm laughing.
I was really proud of myself, Leah.
I know, and they're really cute. They are really cute. It just made me giggle. I'm
I
sorry.
might have to get a different friend. Make sure
You're stuck with me.
It's too late.
Make sure
we
you're.
own a business together. You have no choices now.
I really don't anymore. Make sure you're back here Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're reading Hard Knock,
Hero,
right?
Hard Knock Hero.
Hard Knock Hero, and
By Hannah Shield.
Hannah Shield. I don't have it on my Kindle. I just went to look on my Kindle. I haven't downloaded it yet, so guess we know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Yeah, it's book 1 of that series.
Yeah. And everyone comments on the Instagram post about his shoulders and his back muscles.
They're very nice.
Very nice. And then we'll be back here Sunday. I don't know what we're talking about. We'll figure it out. We might change it.
We have a topic.
We do,
I
but
don't
I'm
know
not
what it
sure
is.
it's one we wanted anymore. So
Oh, I don't even have a clue what it is, but I know that we have.
we have one. We'll talk about it later.
We'll figure it out.
Okay, you can find a list of our upcoming Wednesday episodes over on our website. And then you can find all the definitions we talked about in Point of View over on our On the Shelf show notes at buzzingaboutromance.com. Make sure to follow us on socials. Please leave us a review. I think that's all the things.
I think so too.
Anyway, thank you everyone for hanging out with me this evening.
It's a good time as always.
Yeah, super fun. Good to be back.
It's nice to have you back. Until next time.
Happy reading, everybody.
Find us on Instagram at buzzingaboutromance or on Twitter at buzzingromance. If you like the podcast, please leave a review. If you'd like to support us directly, join the Bookcase and Coffee Patreon and receive exclusive content only available to Patreon members. Check out bookcaseandcoffee.com for our on-the-shelf show notes.